Welcome everyone, just a killer song from Aerosmith. I believe Brad Whitford wrote this song. S.O.S, too bad. What's really fun about it, it's in normal standard tuning, so you can tune to normal. That's cool. I've written this out, so my notes are available down below. And that short intro, we'll go over that. And then during the verse, I actually found a guitar on the left channel that you just really don't hear. It doesn't pop out in the mix a whole lot, but it's definitely there. So that'll be cool to go over. So we're going to start with the intro. What we're doing is sliding in the 4th string to the 6th fret, then coming back to the 4th fret, then hitting the 6th fret on the 5th string. Alright, then we want to slide into 4 on the 6th string and go 2, 3, 4, fret on the 5th string. Repeat that first lick. Alright, now when we go to this second time through, we're going to slide into 4 again and then just lay our finger down, catch 4 on the 5th string, back to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then landing on 4 on the 6th. Some vibrato there. That changes this last time through. So now the next half measure, we're going to do the first lick just like we did the very first lick in the middle. The second lick is slightly different. I'll play it and show you. Alright, I'll stop there. So what we're doing on the second lick, we start out the same and we kind of finish up similar, but what we're going to do after hitting 4 on the 6th string is come back to the 2nd fret of the 6th string. And he holds that for a count and then just slides it up. There's no hit, it's just a slide up. Then we're going to come to an A, let's say G sharp, A flat if you will, but we're moving up, so it's A, G sharp. Then we're going to hit this for 32 counts, and each time kind of bringing it up. So we're going to start on the 6th string and slowly just start adding strings as we count to 32. Alright, so once they get to 32, that is the intro. So for the verses, this is consistent throughout. I wasn't sure if they were doing triplets, but more I listened to it, it's really more of keeping the groove. They're going to hit it once and then twice deadened. And then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So that's on the 4th string from 6 to 4, then moving that to the 5th string. So this is really palm muted, but occasionally hitting that note with 2 deadened notes. Then we go to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, that rings out, and then the 4th fret of the 6th string, and that rings out. Alright, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the last part of this lick is basically hitting a G root note and the G chord. In the song, one of the guitars is just really kind of riding back and forth from the octaves. Just kind of playing the groove, but if you really want to time it out, it's 5 hits of the E. right, so that repeats. All right. And then we go into the second measure of the verse. This is a lot different. What we're going to do is the same style of hitting the notes with two deadens, but we're going to start on the third string at the 6th fret. All right, we'll do that one time through, just like we did from the 4th and 5th string. We're only just using the 3rd and 4th string, coming back to 5. Then we're going to move that, we'll do that once, then we move it up a whole fret, so we'll be at 8 and 6. Right back. And then they go into the lick that we all know. So that lick, I'll go over the second way of playing it. That watching these guys live, this is how Joe plays it. He slides into the 2nd string at the 4th fret and then hits the 3rd string at the 4th fret. It's a vibrato there, and then you're going to hit the 6th fret of that 3rd string with a bend up, and then you'll hit it again with a release and pull off to 4. Back to 6 and 4, landing on 6 on the 4th string. Alright, so then we come back right out of that lick to the very first measure lick without an E chord. Except this time they do play triplets, so it'll be 6 to 4 with 3 hits each on the 4th string, 5th string, and then coming back to 4 and 2. Alright, so let me do that very last lick of the verse. Then we're into verse 2. Alright, so we'll talk about the second guitar during verse 1. So for the rest of the verses, the second guitar, which is in the left channel, I'm really thinking this is Brad because they don't show Brad a whole lot live. And one video I watched, they did show him when they played the lick, and I could see where he played the lick, if you will. Listening to this hard left channel, I heard this other rhythm, okay? So it starts out, the first measure is the same with the clicks, kind of, the 6, 4, on the 4th and 5th string. I'll do it again, and then, like I said, he's kind of riding an octave there, maybe just even the E string. But then it changes. You'll hear this rhythm. So what he's doing different there, we're playing a C-sharp chord, referencing it by playing the bottom half of it, so it'll be in the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string at the 6th fret. We're going to add the 2nd string at 7 and the 4th string at 8. Alright, so it's a down, or off, on, and then a slight pause, and then off and on. And we just move that up a whole step. Right back. And then, again, watching Brad live, he plays that lick. He bends the 3rd fret up a whole step and a half to the E flat, or a step I should say, to the E flat from the 6th fret of the 3rd string, then to 4, and continues on. Alright, so that's the difference in guitar 1 and 2. And like I said, if you pan them hard left and right, riff station allows you to do that, along with slowing it down, which really helped me to figure that out, because I wasn't sure if he was doing or just what it was, and that's how I figured it out. After verse 2, and I'm sorry, I'm not really sure where the chorus is, so I just labeled these verse 1 and verse 2, and I'm sure the chorus is in part of that, but my apologies for that. But anyhow, after what I call verse 2 and all the licks, we're going to reprise the second half of the intro and then go into the solo rhythm. So let me show you that intro that's reprised. Alright, I'll stop there. So the intro is reprised. We just stop at 2 the second time through the lick. Then the next part of this, it starts actual solo rhythm. There is, during that intro reprise, he does one little lick, and then during the solo rhythm, comes in with the rest of the solo. And I've noted that in my notes. So to start out the solo rhythm, we're basically going to be playing octaves between the E and the F sharp. Alright, so it's 2 hits on a muted 6th string to 1 hit on a 2nd fret of the 4th string. We will do that a total of 4 times. The last time will be 1 each, so it'll be 6, 2, open 6th string to 2 on 4, back to open 6. Alright, so what we have so far is this. Then we move that up, same pattern to the F sharp, so we'd be playing 4 and on the 6th string and 6th fret of the 4th string. Then we repeat the E. Alright, and then what we do is go into basically the other half of the verse from the 3rd string to the 4th, but because he's still soloing, they're muting all the strings. So it's more of a... Alright, and then... that ends it when we go into the lick. Okay, the outro, 4 measures long. I'm going to go through 1 measure and then we'll discuss it. Alright, so we're doing the lick from the 4th string, 6, 2 hits, 4, 2 muted hits, and then same thing on the 5th string to 2, on the 5th string to 4. Repeat that, that's a measure. Alright, we'll do 2 more full measures of that, or 4 more times, for a total of 6. The last measure, they'll do it 1 more time, total of 7 there. The 8th time, it's the very end of the song, and they don't keep clicking with it. It's just more of a once, a muted hit, and then the note. And that's the end of the song. So, you know, just a little intricacy to be aware of. Doesn't matter if you do it, you know, the other way. It's how they end the song. We'll go over the solo next. Not real difficult. It's just well executed. And again, I believe it's Brad playing this, so we'll go over that next. Okay, the solos start out here at the, let's just call it the 5th position. I'm going to be playing the 7th notes on the 2nd and 1st string. This very first lick happens when they reprise the intro right towards the second half of it. So he's basically doing a bend of 7 on the second string, catching 7 on the first string, and then hitting 7 again bent on the second. Then he slowly releases it and slides off. Alright, we're going to start the solo again once the solo rhythm starts the very same way. It's just more of a bend and release the second time. Not up and down, but bend and release. And then we do this. So what we're going to do is hit 7, bend and release to 5. Alright, then we're going to hit 5, another 7, and bend and release to 5 with 2 more 7 bent. Alright, so let me play you that first section of the lead during the solo rhythm. Alright, then he really goes to the, this is really based around the C minor pentatonic, if you will. So now he's going to move to that 4th position and hammer on to 7, pull back off to 4. Pull back off to 4, I'm sorry. And then we're going to catch 7 on the second string, back to 4 on the first, and then pull off 7 to 4 on the second. Then he'll go to 6 with a bend, and then 6 bent again, release to 4, and then finally, or not finally, but another 6 bent. Then he does a little different. He's going to go 4, 5, and then 4 hammered onto 5 on the second string, landing on 6. So that's really the first measure of the solo. So let's just take it from the very beginning, including the very intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, from there, of course he's playing it much smoother than I am. We're going to continue on the 3rd string, 6 bent up, release to 4, and then an open note back to 6 and 4 on the 3rd string. I really thought that open G might be here, but it didn't sound right. So it's really an open note. Then we'll pull off from 6 to 4 on the 3rd and 4th string. Back to 4. Then we're going to come to the, that's on the 3rd string, 4 on the 6th or 4th string, hammered into 6. Then we'll hit 6, 4, 6. So that kind of finishes out the next half measure. All right, slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what he does for the second half of the second measure is he's going to take the 3rd string, slide into 4, and then slide from 6 to 8. Alright, just a little bit different lick there because he comes back to 6 and 4. And then another hit on 6 with a bend and release to pull off to 4. And 6 to 4. So we have this so far from the 3 slid. Then we reach down, we're going to grab the 1st string at 7 with a bend and then some vibrato as we're bent and then release. And then we're going to take 6 pulled off to 4. Come back to the 2nd string, pull off 7 to 4, landing on 4 on the 1st. And then pull off 7 to 4 in the 2nd, landing on 6 on the 3rd string, back to 4. Alright, so from the 1st string bent, the solo. All right, what he's going to do is take this third string, pull off from 7, 6, 4, come back to 6 with a bend release and pull off to 4. Come to the second string, 7 bent, catch 4 on the first string, and then 7 to 4 second, back to 4 on the first, and then walk down 7, 4 second, 7, 6, 4 on the third, landing on 6 to end the solo on the fourth string. All right, so we have this. All right, so that's all the solo. I've written that out for you. Really, really had fun learning this song, especially when I pulled out that other guitar. It's always a great surprise and adds to the enjoyment. So I hope you guys enjoy.